What up, peeps? So instead of giving you a regular vlog for today, I thought that I would do a kind of special video instead, something that a lot of you guys have been waiting for and expecting pretty soon. So today we're going to be taking a look at my entire Nintendo Switch collection as of September 16th, 2020. So instead of giving you guys a video where I just simply show you all of the games in my collection, which you can see at the end of this video if you're interested, I thought that I would kind of just talk a little bit more about the Switch, my history with it, why I enjoy collecting for it, and just why it's such a great system overall. So the Switch was released, at least in North America, on March 3rd, 2017, and I started collecting right from the very beginning. The first game that I played, I loved, and I loved everything about the Nintendo Switch, and it made me really want to collect for it. And hopefully, one day in the probably far-off future, I'll be able to have a complete Nintendo Switch collection. That is, of course, the end goal. I'm not buying every game on release or anything like that, so I still have quite a ways to go, and there are many other people out there that have a much larger Nintendo Switch collection than myself. But I really do love the system, I love playing it, and I love collecting for it. So it's just a great overall system, whether you are a handheld gamer, which personally I'm not super into, but my girlfriend is. So whether you're a handheld gamer or you enjoy playing on the TV, the console is for you. Like I said, my girlfriend really enjoys playing handheld. I enjoy playing on the TV. We can sit on the couch together or lay in bed together. I can have the TV, she can be playing handheld, and we can be playing either the same game or different games. We can play together or single player, it doesn't matter. And both options are great. So depending on, which way you like to play, the system is for you. It's for everyone. At least according to Wikipedia, if you include all physical, all digital, and I believe all virtual console games, there are roughly 3,000 Nintendo Switch games released already, so there's a little bit of stuff for anyone, whether you are a hardcore gamer or you're into JRPGs, or you like platformers, or any other type of game that you can imagine. There is at least something available on the Switch for you. I think there are a few maybe misconceptions that your average person might have about the Nintendo Switch, and it kind of sucks to see because the Switch is such a great console. A lot of people may think that the Nintendo Switch is just for kids and there's nothing for adults on there, which is obviously not true. You can play everything from Skyrim to The Witcher to games like Bloodstained. Now, you're probably not going to play something like the new Battlefield on the Nintendo Switch, but even if you're into first-person shooters, there are quite a few on the Nintendo Switch as well, including Nintendo's own Splatoon, which is, a different take on the first-person shooter genre. They have Nintendo-fied it, but it still is a shooter, and there's tons of RPGs, obviously. You can import stuff as well, which is very easy now. Luckily, the Nintendo Switch is not region-locked, and with websites like Play Asia and Super Rare Games and all these other places, it's very easy, at least for people in the United States, to import games from other countries and from Japan and stuff like that. So there's a wide variety of games. There's a ton of third-party support for the Nintendo Switch as well. So it doesn't really matter what kind of games you are into. There is something for everyone on the Nintendo Switch. Another misconception that I think some people might have is that you have to play handheld, or the Switch is just a handheld console, which that of course is not true. It is a hybrid device allowing you to play handheld or on your television. And even if people understand that, sometimes I see people that say they don't like the Joy-Cons, or the Joy-Cons are too small. You don't have to play with the Joy-Cons. I rarely ever do. Typically, I'm using a Pro Controller. Personally, we have in our collection, we have 3 or 4 different ones. Just a standard black one and a couple special editions as well. And the Pro Controller is great. It feels like a normal controller. There's no weird gimmicks with it or anything like that. If you didn't enjoy the Wii controllers or even the Wii U gamepad, the Switch is completely different. There are so many different ways to play on the Nintendo Switch, different controllers, different setups with it being handheld or on the TV, or even using a regular controller but then using the Switch tablet itself as your screen. There's all these different ways to play, which is one of the things that makes it so great. It's so, it's so diverse and portable in many different ways, and you can kind of configure it and do whatever you want. So For anyone out there that thinks that the Nintendo Switch is just a handheld console, it has weird gimmicky controllers, and it's just for kids, those things are simply not true. You just need to look a little bit harder into the Nintendo Switch, do a little bit more research, look up some more games, and I'm sure you'll find something that is good enough for you. Nintendo has also released some of its best games on the Nintendo Switch, with games like the new Animal Crossing, which obviously took the world by storm. Everyone's been staying inside due to the pandemic, and Animal Crossing has been a great game for people to fill that time. I definitely have enjoyed it a ton. Also games like Breath of the Wild, Kirby Superstar Allies, the Mario Kart 8 port, which was originally on the Wii U, but the Switch version comes with all of the DLC and some extra stuff included. Super Mario Odyssey, and we've even gotten some great remakes or re-releases of games like Link's Awakening, the Baldur's Gate games. There's plenty of others, and so the Nintendo Switch it has so many good games, and I have personally enjoyed playing lots of them. Obviously, my collection is pretty big. I have not played the majority of the games that I have. A lot of them are still sealed, but my intent with my collection is to play it. I don't have tons of time to do that right now, but I'm hoping in the future, once I retire or whatever it is, I'll have time to play a lot of these games. And the reason that a lot of them are still sealed is just because I haven't played them yet. And some of them, of course, I probably will keep sealed. A lot of the collector's editions and stuff like that, of course, having them sealed, they have a little bit more value. And if I'm not going to play it right away, there's really no point in me opening it just yet. If I decide I want to play one of those special editions down the road, and it happens to be worth double or triple what an opened copy is, I can always sell it, use the money to buy that opened copy to play, and then have money left over to buy some other games. So those are kind of my plans with everything, but for the games that I have enjoyed so far, I have really, really enjoyed. I've tried out quite a few. Some of them I've enjoyed more than others. Some games like Dragon Marked for Death, I tried, wasn't huge into it. Other games like SteamWorld Dig 2, I played that game entirely, 100%ed it, loved that game. Other little indie titles like Moonlighter and Forager, I've really, really enjoyed. Beat Forager, have not beaten Moonlighter yet. I definitely want to go back to that one at some point. Another aspect of collecting for the Nintendo Switch that has become pretty popular recently has been these companies like Limited Run Games or Super Rare Games or Strictly Limited or Ultra Collectors. There's all these different companies that are releasing limited physical copies of indie games, and in some cases even not indie games. But I think that that's pretty cool, because a lot of these games typically you would only be able to get digitally. And I know for a lot of collectors, myself included, I'm not extremely interested in digital-only games. The game could be fantastic, but I like having a physical copy. So when companies like Limited Run release these games, it gives collectors a chance to actually get the physical copy, to own the game that they're playing, to have it in their collection, to do whatever they want with it once they're done. And I think that that's great. And this is something that's kind of new for this generation of gaming. Some of these companies may have released games for previous consoles like the Wii U or the PS3 or the Vita or whatever it is, but they've really, really been popular with the current generation, the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. And I think that that's great, because not only does it give people a chance to play these games on a physical cartridge, but it also is a whole new avenue of collecting for these consoles, and for the Nintendo Switch in particular. With Limited Run, just as the main example here, their games are not necessarily limited when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. The collector's edition versions are, but these games for the Nintendo Switch that Limited Run is releasing, they're always on open pre-order. So as long as you can pre-order the game within, I think they give you like 2 weeks or something to pre-order it, they will print as many copies as people pre-order. So you're never really in danger of missing out on one of those games as long as you can pre-order it within that couple-week time frame. If you want the collector's edition, that's of course a different story, but and not all the companies are doing this. I think this is mainly just a Limited Run deal here, but they are the most popular of these types of companies that are doing this. So like I said, if you want the game, you can get it. So that is some of my personal opinions and kind of, thoughts on the Nintendo Switch and collecting for this console. So with that, I'm going to finish off the video here and leave you guys with a clip of basically showing you my entire Nintendo Switch collection. I've showed you some highlights here and there throughout this video so far, but I know some of you are here just to see exactly how many games I have and which ones I have. So, with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.